Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 294. Back on the topic of baseball today. Huge last 24 hours for the New York Yankees and you Yankees fans out there. First acquiring DJ Lemahieu, which I did a video on yesterday. Go check that out if you have not yet. But now, yesterday evening, they signed Corey Kluber to a 1-year, $11 million deal. Huge for the New York Yankees. But before we get into that, let's do the question of the day. Which Hall of Fame Yankees reliever is the American League Reliever of the Year award named after? Again, answer to that question revealed at the end of the video. So, yes, Yankees signed Corey Kluber. Huge addition that directly addresses a weakness of this team, which is their pitching staff. Absolutely great decision by the Yankees. I love this decision. Again, signing DJ was just smart. I mean, obviously their lineup is stacked, but he really held that lineup together. So re-signing DJ Lemahieu, that's really big for this team. But I went over this in the DJ video. Yankees bullpen in particular is lacking an ace. And of course their starting rotation has Gerrit Cole, their ace, but he's lacking really a good second guy, which is I think exactly what Corey Kluber can do. Again, my projected starting rotation for the Yankees in 2021 is going to be Gerrit Cole, the clear ace, and then Jordan Montgomery, which he's a lefty, the most experience on the pitching staff other than Gerrit Cole on the starting pitching staff. So he's going to be my number 2 guy. And then Domingo German, a right-handed guy who's talented but dealing with suspensions last season. Hopefully he can keep it together. And then I got Davy Garcia, a righty, and Jonathan Lasega, a righty, out of the end of the starting rotation. Yes. So Corey Kluber goes in there probably as the number 2 guy, maybe the number 3, depending on how him and Jordan Montgomery, how the battle for the number 2 starter goes there. But it's a huge addition. Corey Kluber, a guy he's a veteran in my opinion. He's drafted in 14 years ago, drafted in 07, 13 years ago. 34 years old, played at the highest stage of baseball with the Indians in 2016, played in the World Series. Of course, they fell short to the Cubs, but he played there, he pitched there. So he's been around. He knows how to play high caliber baseball. He was one of the Indians aces with Trevor Bauer. I could imagine just the relationship those guys had. You learn a lot from a guy like Trevor Bauer and vice versa. So I think Corey Kluber is going to be a talented guy and going to be helpful for the Yankees. Absolutely. Just taking a look at some of his stats for his career. He's got a career ERA of 3.16. Solid, I would say. Not fantastic, but pretty good. Win to losses, 98 wins to 58 losses. That's roughly a 60%. 60% win percentage. 204 career starts. He's thrown some innings. He's thrown some innings. I think that his experience. Of course, Gerrit Cole. He's won the World Series. He's been there, so he's going to remain the ace. But Corey Kluber will provide a more than solid secondary starting spot. And I think this is clear why the Yankees are doing this. They're doing this to win the World Series. Obviously, when you sign a guy like that, they're directly addressing the problem they have with pitching. They're doing it for 1 year, which means they're banking on this year getting to the World Series. But I think it's realistic. I mean, you look at where they've fallen short the past couple years. ALDS versus the Astros, ALDS versus the Rays. Well, you look at both those teams. The Astros are going to lose George Springer, so they're going to be just a shell of what they were. I think he was huge for that team, especially in the postseason. Obviously, the Astros struggled last year in the regular season and then made a good run in the postseason, not going to lie. But the Astros are going downhill from here. The Rays lost Blake Snell. What are the odds Randy Arozarena can play like that again? Basically 0. So the Rays are not going to be huge contenders. So as far as the AL, the A's lost Liam Hendricks, so they're going to be weaker. The White Sox gained Liam Hendricks. They just picked up somebody else too. Anyway, the White Sox are looking good, of course, with Jose Abreu, Luis Jimenez, of course, Tim Anderson, whatever. That team's looking great. So they might pose a threat to the Yankees in the AL. The Twins, maybe, if they keep being solid. But I think this Yankees team has a great shot of an ALCS run at least this season. And then, of course, this addition of Corey Kluber solidifies that. Corey Kluber, a guy that throws his main pitches. He says he throws a sinker a lot, yes. 2-seam fastball, yes. And then his curveball is a pitch he relies on late in the count, 2 strikes, whatever, to punch guys out. And he runs up his fastball mid-90s. He's not a huge velo guy, but he can throw it. He can run it up a little bit. So again, Corey Kluber, a guy that I think is going to really help this Yankees team finally make Yankees fans happy. Of course, this team has been stacked. Aaron Judge, of course, Giancarlo Stanton picking him up, a young guy Luke Voit, and then the younger guys, Gleyber Torres, Gio Urshela. These Yankees fans have got to be dissatisfied with ALDS, just failing to advance past that. Well, I think this coming season, Yankees fans, this is your year, and you can thank DJ LeMahieu and Corey Kluber because those are the guys going to help you do it. So again, Corey Kluber going to the Yankees 1 year, $11 million, huge for the Yankees. Yankees going to make a potential World Series run, and that is all for that. For the question of the day, I think this is a pretty easy one, especially for you Yankees fans or baseball fans in general. The answer is Mariano Rivera, perhaps the greatest reliever in baseball history. That is who the AL Reliever of the Year award is named after. You guys, thanks for watching. 2-minute warning.